the further this journey goes, the deeper it gets, and there's some things in here that I had forgotten about, to be honest, and it is so fun to revisit these. Eben Ozen, AEIOU, sometimes why. They had a song on MTV. The video was just quirky and bizarre and strange, and I think this isn't a full album. I think it's just it's an extended single, and I don't know much more about these guys if they ever had another tune, but AEIOU, Sometimes Why, was one of those fun 80s songs that was all over MTV for a while, and it's still kind of a happy song to listen to. Cool album, Yellow, Stella, in honor, I think, of Frank Stella, the painter. You would recognize this from Ferris Bueller's Day Off if you didn't recognize the album cover. That Oh Yeah that plays at the end, that famous scene on the bus. But really cool stuff on here. Sonically pretty dark. There's some creepy stuff on here, I'll say. For electronic music, they're able to conjure some pretty dark soundscapes. Vicious Games is probably one of the more pop-oriented tunes, but it's got some pretty dark stuff on here. The cover kind of tells you a lot about what the music's going to sound like, which I always loved about an album, that the cover had something to do with the artistry of the music. Classic album, the Violent Femmes debut album. My brother Kevin really got me into the Violent Femmes, and this is probably, in my opinion, their best album. It's just one after another. These short acoustic punk tunes, and just great songs for people who are down on their luck, or having a bad day, or struggling with why does this have to be so difficult. Blister in the Sun, great song. I think you might even hear that at the Royals now. The riff from that is sometimes played to get people clapping. Gone Daddy Gone, great song. Add It Up, great stuff on that album. Love that album. My brother Kevin and I actually went to the Uptown and saw the Violent Femmes. It was not for this album, it was a couple albums later, don't remember the name of it, but what an awesome show it was. They were so much fun. Gordon Gano has a great voice. For a three-piece band, they just really cranked out a lot of fun. Howard Jones' debut album, Humans Live. Love this album. I listened to this a lot when I was in the seminary too. It was, must have been 1982 or 83. Love this album start to finish. So What Is Love was the big song, but Pearl in the Shell, new song, so many great songs on there. Howard Jones really has left us some great music. Ooh, classic rock, Kansas, Point of No Return. I loved Kansas. Styx and ELO and Foreigner, Journey, Kansas. I think you could call at least some of it, this for sure, prog rock. But dense, layered, and lots of instrumentation, lots of texture again. Steve Walsh just has an amazing voice, and love their lyrics. They're deep, and things that would certainly inspire a lot of thought for yourself as you listened. The kind of listen that you don't just play a couple of songs. If you put this album on, or most Kansas albums on, you'd listen start to finish, just because there's this sonic cohesion, and a lot of times a lyrical cohesion to Kansas albums. A lot of good reflection in there, so love that album. Dust in the Wind, Lightning's Hand, one of my favorite songs. Point of No Return, Closet Chronicles, He Knew, Hopelessly Human. Ooh, good stuff on there. Another album that I just dearly love and just rediscovered, Rat in the Kitchen by UB40. Not a huge reggae fan. I don't dislike it, but I don't often reach for reggae. But when I do, Rat in the Kitchen is great, great stuff. Looking Down at My Reflection is my favorite song on here. But lots of good Rat in Me Kitchen, UB40. There's always a little sense of humor to what they say, but a lot of social and political commentary on there as well. Cool, cool album. Torch song, Wish Thing. My brother Steve got into this, I think, when he was at the Art Institute, and it's probably, it's dance, but it's also early electronic, or William Orbit, who I think in the end has done a lot of producing, is part of this band. Don't Look Now, Telepathy, they cover Ode to Billy Joe on here. Prepare to Energize, I think that might have actually been in a movie, but hard to find this. I don't think it's on Spotify, but just a super cool album, great electronic vibe to it. ABC, How to Be a Zillionaire. This was probably ABC at their most pop indulgent. A lot of great songs on here. 15 Story Halo, Be Near Me. Good tunes. Not my favorite album, but also a fun album all the same. Boy, another classic. ELO, Face the Music. ELO was a big band at my house growing up. Several siblings, most of us were into ELO. And Fire on High, that nice classic 70s tune, all instrumental. The one that you spun around backwards and it said, music is reversible, but time is not. Turn back, turn back, turn back. But Strange Magic, I think, is on here. Yes, it's got to be one of my favorite ELO songs. The guitar on that, the leads, they're just so gently mellow and beautiful. Evil Woman is on here. Really every song. One Summer Dream, just a beautiful song. Jeff Lynne doesn't always get the credit he deserves as a songwriter. I think he is now, but that is a great album. It'd be hard to pick my favorite ELO album, to tell you the truth. Last one, Psychedelic Furs, Mirror Moves. Loved them when they came out on MTV. I don't think this is their debut. I think they had one other beforehand, but The Ghost in You. What's the other one on here? Not Heartbeat. My Time. Great song. Heaven. I think his name's Robert Butler, the lead singer, just has such a distinctive voice and doesn't seem too apologetic about his Britishness. And I always like that when a singer lets their British inflection really shine through how they sing. So it's a fun journey. This is a great bunch of albums.